Sasaki dearest. So welcome to another episode of Otaku Monthly Favorites, where at the end of every month I introduce you guys to certain anime series, manga, or different anime and otaku related things that I've been introduced to within that given month. So the first thing I'm going to share with you guys is an anime series that has kind of been out already for a while now, but it's just going to be one of those series that I was just late on the bandwagon for this time, and I loved it so much and I regret not starting it sooner. So without further ado, let's talk about the series Osomatsu-san. Osomatsu-san is the successor series to an older version, Osomatsu-kun, which was mainly just famous in Japan. I think the manga and the first anime came out like in the 1960s, so this is pretty old, but it's a classic in Japan, and now it's come back as Osomatsu-san, which has gained a lot of traffic outside of the country, which is really good. And I regret not seeing this sooner, not because I'm late on it, because I really just want to talk to people that are in the moment of currently watching this. Like, it makes you want to watch the original series, but even then, it's done in a way that you don't have to because it's so old, and it's done it also in a way where it's one of those series where it caters to the original fans and it's still introducing itself to the new audience. And I love how this anime pretty much flipped off every popular anime to try and fit itself into the genre. Like, it's not saying this day and age of anime is bad, but it is incredibly different from when this anime aired and how it was at its peak. So it's really trying to force itself to kind of meet middle grounds of modernizing to today's standards, but it's done also in respect to what it originally was. So it still pays respects to the original writing style, the humor, all of that is still very much intact even after, what is it, 27 years? I feel like I'm reliving something I've never even watched. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make an anime kind of talking about older anime strictly just in Japan and why Osomatsu-san worked, because I feel like I can work with something on this. Which I kind of did. I wrote an article listing a bunch of anime that are more popular in Japan than outside of the country. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link down below. So yeah, Osomatsu-san, it was hilarious. I love it. If you have not started, please do. It is amazing. The second thing I was introduced to was actually by you guys. And by you guys, I meant you girls. And that is 10 count. Cue that cute transition. So I never knew about 10 count, but there are a lot of people suggesting this to me next to Blood Bank. And for those of you that don't know, this is a yaoi manga, and it's about a therapist. Actually, let me go get the manga out for you. Visual teachings. But if you're wondering why it's in a plastic bag, it's because the main character is a germaphobe. And I just feel like he feels awkward that he's in a manga that everyone's touching. Alright, let's talk about 10 count. Okay, joke's over. So, 10 count. This guy is a germaphobe and has major OCD. And the therapist is like, hey, let me help you out there, sir. This guy has extreme germophobia in a way where he can't touch doorknobs, he can't shake your hand, he can't really even go outside normally without panicking. And it's so funny how you can take like the simplest concept of, oh, a guy that doesn't like things touching him, then dive into the mind of a Fujo and you can create like the craziest smut ever. Okay, well with 10 count, it's not really that much smut. So for those of you that are like crazy for that kind of stuff, then 10 count is incredibly slow, so that's really all up to you if you want to read that. For me, I can deal without physical intimacy when it comes to anything, not just yaoi, but also with yuri and just regular anime. In fact, I'm the type of person that believes you can make it in writing where sexual tension can even be more powerful than sex itself. This is Otaku Monthly Favorites, but I want to introduce you guys to things that you may like. Me? I thought it was just okay. So with the story, this guy is forced to write 10 things that he normally wouldn't do because he's a germophobia. From 1 to 10, 1 being something he can kind of imagine himself doing if he makes the effort to do it, and number 10 being something he just flat out just can't do. He is not going to do it. I am not shaking that guy's hand. And that method can be very effective because he has to practice each and every step, and the more he goes up the ladder, the more closer he is going to be to just living normally, and hopefully his OCD will be better controlled. So we're going to help you get out of your germaphobe habit. So if you could just do me the favor and list 10 things you normally wouldn't do, 1 being something you could do and 10 being something you just can't do. And we'll go up the ladder and we'll see if you're better by the end of the week. Alright, so if you're done, let's see it. Number 1 is eat poop. You'd rather eat poop than shake my hand. If I put the effort into it, I probably can. Did you understand the rules to this experiment? And so throughout the manga, I felt like this could be a one-shot. If I never saw this number on the side of it, I would have believed that it could have just ended where it ended up. So I'm no expert on how OCD is treated or how it's improved or what it looks like when it's reaching extremes, but the way that this manga does it, it's not really over the top. You have the main character who just hates the fact that he's a germaphobe. I mean, he has a friend that's in the hospital, and that friend in the hospital bed still felt the necessity to have a napkin between his fingers and the book for the other one's sake. I mean, he's the one in the hospital that has it a lot worse than this kid. And that kid hates the fact that he is like this, so he reaches out for help. And as far as a relationship goes, like the romance aspect of this, just from volume 1, really nothing happened. I mean, you had a few physical cliches, but nothing else like that, which I'm okay with. I didn't go in this really thinking, oh look, it's a yaoi book. It's more like, okay, let's see what this story's about. Do I like it? No? Okay. Or in the case with 10 Count, it was just alright to me. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. Now, at the end of this is really interesting. Not story-wise, so there's no spoilers, but it is a message from the author. So a lot of you know that, you know, when you read books, you see an author that either gives thanks or says what the story was inspired by, whatever it may be. This author says this. Volume 1 turned out to be so leisurely paced that I'm almost worried people will complain the cover was just a tease. Starting with Volume 2, the relationship between the two main characters will start to grow and change. I hope you'll stick around to see it. Thank you very much for reading Volume 1, Rihito Takarai. I've never seen an author that had to apologize for their own writing and worry that people would not continue. It's no consolation to me admitting that there isn't anything that made me want to read Volume 2. It's really the author's job to make that story compelling and making you want to bring the reader into the next volume to continue your series. But this author basically gave a disclaimer of, I'm sorry that my writing probably wasn't the best, but I hope you'll continue anyway. I looked up other reviews on why people left this, and some of those were saying that they were really uncomfortable with the relationship being between a therapist and their patient, and those people are probably speaking from them either having OCD or knowing someone with OCD, or they just don't really like that image at all. And that's fine, it's understandable, but the one thing I'm going to say is that the world of yaoi, it's this world where they make all these serious romance stories without really taking itself so seriously. The whole point of these total smut yaoi stories is just to build the fantasy. So taking something so simple like, oh, someone has a fear of people touching them, well, let's work with that. We'll make sure he's cured. And I've dwelled into some stories that took it a little too far, but I'm at least aware knowing that when I go into this genre, I'm probably going to step across a story every now and then that's going to try to create a kink out of this one simple thing that really shouldn't be sexualized. Maybe some of these people are already aware that that's what they expect. For those that strictly just say, oh, you should never sexualize this, or you shouldn't make a romance or a relationship out of something so serious, just remember when you go into yaoi that that's really just the marketing drive that people who make stories like this want to do. A lot of them will just take this one simple thing and just try to base an entire story around it to make more physical intimacy or more mental intimacy, all just to feed that wonderful Fujo imagery. And of course this has created a lot of backlash, but that's going to open up a whole nother can of worms that I'm not going to do in this video. So that was everything in the Otaku Monthly Favorites. Let me know in the comment section down below of your opinions on these. And I appreciate you guys for watching, and subscribe to my channel for more anime and otaku related content. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!